The testimony was never meant to be preserved. It appears only once, folded inside a property ledger where it does not belong. One woman's name is written in full. 4 children are referenced only by age. No causes of death, no dates. Just a final line pressed hard into the page. She spoke freely. It was not advised. This record survives only for those willing to face what history tried to bury. Before we begin this story, if you're drawn to the dark stories that history tried to erase, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the stories we uncover every week. And let us know in the comments which state you're watching from. We love seeing how far these forgotten stories are reaching. The year is 1841. The settlement sits inland, bordered by low fields and slow water, where land is divided not by fences, but ink. Deeds decide who belongs. Ledgers decide who is remembered. The courthouse stands apart from the homes, its stone steps worn smooth by boots that know exactly where they're going. Inside, the air smells of candle wax and old paper. Records are stacked high, bound with twine, guarded not by locks, but by habit and fear. Here, land ownership defines survival. A signature can grant protection. An erasure can expose a family to hunger, removal, or silence. Men's names are written cleanly. Women's names appear only when necessary. Children are recorded briefly, if at all. Midwives whisper. Clerks don't ask questions. When a child dies young, the ink barely slows. This is a place where grief is private, but paperwork is permanent. And still, somehow, this woman was allowed to speak. She was born in 1841, the same year her testimony would later be recorded, though not at birth. Her name is written clearly, as if someone feared it might otherwise be lost. She lived on land she worked but did not own, raising children under a roof that could be taken with a single corrected line of text. Her hands were rough, always carrying the faint of lye soap. She counted time not by calendars, but by pregnancies, harvests, and winters that came too early. Each of her 4 children was born in the same house. Each died before reaching 10. He was a man obsessed with control, sharply creased fabrics, a low voice, and a sonnet in his back pocket. For him, order was a matter of moral character. Clean books, no disputes, no accusations that could ripple outward. He believed disorder began when women spoke too much, when grief became narrative. He feared disorder more than lies, and he feared this woman's memory most of all. The incident begins with a visit she did not request. A clerk arrives with papers folded tight, asking questions about land boundaries and residency. He asks how many children she has. She answers honestly. He pauses, looks down at the page, and says the number does not match the record. The account book formally sats only 1 child. She insists there were 4. The clerk's expression hardens. He says the record cannot be wrong. He suggests she is confused. He suggests grief distorts memory. Before leaving, he marks something in the margin. That night, she realizes something irreversible has happened. Her children have not only died, they are being removed. She begins to pay attention. She notices her name appears less often in church rolls. She hears whispers that her land may be reassigned due to lack of heirs. A neighbor stops visiting. Another warns her not to press matters. She goes to the courthouse herself. Inside, she watches hands move pages without urgency. She hears her children reduced to silence. One ledger shows her listed as childless, another lists her as temporary resident. Each book contradicts her life. A mini cliffhanger emerges when she finds a torn page tucked behind a deed. It lists 4 births. The ink is faded, but the ages match. Someone tried to destroy it and failed. She takes nothing. She leaves no mark, but she is now certain the erasure is deliberate. For days, she says nothing. She sits in the house alone, listening to the floor settle, replaying each illness, each fever, each burial done quietly before dawn. She wonders if she remembered wrong, if exhaustion altered the truth. The doubt is heavy. It presses inward. Then she finds a scrap of cloth, a child's sleeve, used as a cleaning rag by mistake. She folds it carefully and places it away. The memory holds. The silence breaks. She speaks again to the same woman who once helped deliver her first child. The midwife's face tightens. She admits there were more deaths like this. Children marked as stillborn when they were not. Records adjusted to simplify land claims. The antagonist responds indirectly. A notice appears, questioning the woman's right to remain on the property. A threat without words. Another mini cliffhanger arrives when she's summoned to give a statement. The room is small. A single candle burns. Her words are written down by someone else. She watches the pen hesitate when she names each child. She watches as ages are shortened. Causes are omitted. She realizes the testimony is being shaped as she speaks. Still, she continues. For those willing to question the version of events preserved on paper, listen closely. Some truths survive only because someone refused to stop talking. She is told that the deaths were recorded in a way that allowed the land to revert, that children without official acknowledgement do not count as heirs, that this has been done before, and it will be done again. The antagonist never denies her loss. He simply denies its relevance. The testimony is sealed. Her name remains. Her children vanish. She leaves knowing the truth exists, but only in a compromised form. Her victory is incomplete. Her grief, now documented, is also controlled. In the weeks that follow, the land changes hands. Some neighbors whisper that she spoke too much. Others avoid her entirely. The torn page disappears. The ledger is rebound. Privately, some acknowledge the children. Publicly, nothing changes. The testimony remains, buried where it does not belong. Not destroyed, just hidden. If you were among the few who question what survives in ink and what is lost between lines, remember, this voice did not disappear willingly. The story ends with unanswered questions. If her children lived long enough to be remembered, who decided they didn't matter? How many lives were erased to keep the books clean? And how many testimonies still exist, misfiled, folded, waiting for someone to notice they were never meant to be found? The record is closed, but the silence remains.